So connections are made. We will follow the procedure for armature control method. Connections are made as shown in the circuit diagram. So in the circuit diagram, the connections are made, okay, from positive terminal to line of the 3-point starter, from positive terminal to the line of 3-point starter, field point of 3-point starter to rheostat, one terminal of rheostat. Field point of 3-point starter is connected to one terminal of rheostat. Okay. Other terminal of rheostat is connected to field ammeter. Other terminal of rheostat is connected to field ammeter 0 to 2 amperes. Okay. Negative terminal of field ammeter is connected to positive terminal of the field winding. Negative terminal of field ammeter is connected to positive terminal of the field winding. Negative terminal of field winding is connected to negative of armature. Negative terminal of field winding is connected to negative of armature, and negative of armature is connected to negative of supply. Negative of armature is connected to negative of supply. Then armature terminal of 3-point starter is connected to armature rheostat. Armature terminal of 3-point starter, okay, is connected to, okay, armature rheostat. Okay. Other terminal of armature rheostat is connected to positive of armature. Okay. Other terminal of armature rheostat is connected to positive of armature. Okay. Negative terminal of armature is connected to negative of supply. Negative terminal of armature is connected to negative of supply. Okay. So now I have to place a voltmeter across the armature. Okay. So for that I will be using multimeter. Okay. I use multimeter for the So I have connected the multimeter across the armature. Okay. So I will be keeping the multimeter now in DC range. It is in DC range. It is in DC range, but the range is millivolts. I will change the range to volts. Okay. So now it will be measuring the DC voltage. Okay. So now what is the procedure? Connections are made as per the circuit diagram. I have done the connections as per the circuit diagram. Okay. You are not having any confusion, I believe, in the circuit diagram connections, because it is the second machines laboratory that you will be conducting. Last semester also you conducted the machines laboratory, and before this lockdown you have finished few of the experiments. Okay. So I believe there will not be any difficulty in doing the connections. Okay. Keeping the rheostat R1 in the field. Second step, keeping the rheostat R1 in the field circuit of the motor in cutout position, and the rheostat R2, okay, in the armature in cut-in position. Okay. And supply switch is closed. So the field rheostat should be in cutout position. Like I explained initially, the field external resistance is kept minimum or 0. So the terminals that the position of rheostat depends upon what terminals I choose. Okay, so the terminals I chose are these two terminals. Okay, these are the two terminals I chose for the connection. Okay, so if I have to keep this rheostat in cutout position, this is the field rheostat, black rheostat is field rheostat, and brown rheostat is armature rheostat. Okay, so if I want to keep this in cutout position, this part of wire, this is the wire where the resistance of the rheostat is there. Okay, this is the sliding bar. So the wire should not be included in the circuit. That's it. So if I keep the slider at this point, okay, if I keep the slider at this point, the field current will enter this terminal, go to slider and exit from this terminal. So this part of the resistance of the wire is not included in the circuit, hence this rheostat is now in cutout position. Okay. Then armature rheostat R2 should be kept in cut-in position. I usually keep the resistance in armature always larger, okay, at higher value. So now armature point, from point of armature I will be using this terminal. Now my resistance of the armature, external resistance of the armature should be cut in, that is maximum. So this part of the resistance of wire, this is the wire which is including the resistance in the circuit. So this resistance is 360 ohms. Okay. So now this resistance should be added in the circuit initially. So to keep this resistance added, now the current is entering this terminal from the 3-point starter. Okay. If this circuit has to be included, now the second terminal is from here. If the position of slider is at this point, then current will enter this terminal, through slider it will exit here. This part of the resistance will not be included. So this is now in cutout position. I should make it in cut-in. I will change the slider position. Okay. Now current will enter this terminal, go through the slider bar. From the slider carbon brush it will reach the wire, and from here it will flow to this terminal. So the entire resistance of the wire is included in the circuit. Hence this connection is known as cut-in connection of the rheostat. Okay, so that is my second procedure. Okay, third point, close the supply switch. Field current is adjusted to a constant value by adjusting the rheostat R1. Okay, I will not attach R1, I will keep it as it is. Okay, so whatever the value of field current I will get, I will take that as constant field current. Next, and rheostat R2 is gradually adjusted, actually it is decreased. Okay, and at each step of decrease the speed is noted down. Okay, at each step of, now it is at maximum position, I will start the motor and I will decrease this rheostat in steps, and at each step I will note down the speed. Okay, so we will start the motor. Now close the supplies. Connections are done as per the circuit diagram. Rheostats are there at the respective positions. Now I will turn the supply switch. I will start the motor using 3-point starter. Okay. The motor has started. See, the motor is running. The motor is running. Okay. Now I will check the voltage. So the voltage across armature is 83. Okay. The voltage across armature is 83 volts. Okay. It is varying depending upon speed. When the speed settles down, the voltage will also remain constant. Okay. So now my field current is, okay, we should be observing the analog meters perpendicularly to the needle. Okay, so it is around 0.65. The field current is around 0.6, it is above 0.65. Okay, but I will take it as 0.65. Okay, so this is this is 0.5, okay, this is 0.5, 0.6, 0.65, slightly above 0.65. So I will keep this field current 0.65 constant. Okay. So this is armature control. I will keep the field current 0.65 constant. So now I will check the speed. Now what is the armature voltage? It is 88 volts. For my first reading, serial number 1, armature voltage is 88 volts. I will check the speed. Okay. I will take the speed as 586 rpm. So the speed obtained is 586 rpm. Now for the next step I should vary the rheostat. Okay. So now what I will do, instead of arbitrarily varying the rheostat values, I will take the variation in steps of voltage values. Okay. So now it is 88. Next I will vary it to 110, 130, okay, 150, 170, 190 and 210 or 220. Okay. So we will get the equal steps of voltages and we will observe the speed. So now it is 88 volts. Now I will vary the rheostat until my voltmeter shows 110 volts. My voltmeter is showing now 110 volts. Okay. So it is around 113. Okay, slight variations will do because of fluctuations in the supply voltage. Rectifier output will also be somewhat fluctuating. So therefore my output DC voltages will also be fluctuating. Okay. So small variation in the voltages will do. Okay, we need not to worry much. I have got nearly 110. We will see now what will be the speed. Okay. We will take on 769 rpm. Okay. So don't hurry in taking the speed values, it has to settle down. Okay. So 769 voltage is now my voltage 114, second 114 and voltage is 760, sorry, speed is 769. Okay. Now the third value of voltage I will take is 130, so nearly 130, 33, it will do. 942. I will take speed as 942. The voltage is 139. 942. So likewise, I will be increasing the voltage by decreasing the armature resistance. Okay. So I will now directly go to some higher voltages. On 75 volts, and my speed is 1208 RPM. Okay, so the speed is, the voltage is 176. 1208 RPM. Now I will vary the rheostat to obtain the rated voltage. Okay. The maximum voltage what I get across is 212 volts. Okay. So at 212 volts, we will see what is the speed. (1458 RPM). Okay. So at 212 volts, 1458 RPM. Okay. So this is the armature control method. Okay. So now we have to go for field control method. Now for field control method, I should be keeping the armature voltage constant. Now I will keep the last voltage that is obtained, 212, constant voltage. Now my armature voltage is 212. What is the first field current? It is 0.6, and the speed is 1458. Now this is the first value of my field control, because I will take this itself as my first value, last value of armature control as my first value of field control. Now I will increase the resistance in field rheostat, okay, in steps of armature current, field current. Okay. So I will, now it is 0.6, I will decrease the field current to 0.55. The field current is now 0.55. Now we will see what is the speed. The speed is 1522 RPM. Okay. So the speed is, second case, it is 0.55, 1522 RPM. Now I will further decrease the field current to 0.5. Okay, now the field current is 0.5. Okay. Now the speed is 1566 RPM. So 0.5. Now to what value I can decrease the field current? The field current should be decreased only up to the 50% of the first value what I obtained, that is up to 0.3 or 0.35. Why? Because below that field current, there may be two possibilities. One, the field weakening can occur. Okay, or the speed will be tremendously high. If field weakening occurs, the motor may stop due to unavailability of the flux. Or second possibility, there can be a large value of the speed. The motor can start rotating at a very large speeds because flux and speed are inversely proportional. Okay, so these two are the possibilities if the flux is reduced to a very lower value. So make sure that the flux lowering, the reduction in the flux in field control should not go below 50% of the flux what is obtained at the start of the motor. Okay, so at the start of the motor it was 0.65. So I will be varying the flux or decreasing the field current in such a way that the field current will not go below 0.35 or below 0.3. Okay, or I should be varying the field current such that the speed should not go beyond around 1700 rpm. So the rated speed of the motor is 1500 rpm. Up to 1700 rpm it is fine, 1650 or 1700. Beyond that it is dangerous. Okay, so now further I will decrease the field current to 0.45. Okay. Now what? We'll check the speed. The motor has drifted a bit. (1640). Okay. So the speed is 1640. Fourth reading 0.45, 1640. We'll take one last fifth reading. So we'll decrease the field current to 0.4. We'll check the speed. (1720 rpm). 1720 rpm. So this is the completion of the experiment. We will stop here. We will not go for further variation of the speeds. Okay. Then we will bring back all the rheostats to their original position. This is the procedure. Okay. We have to bring back the rheostats to their original position. The field rheostat should be kept in cut-in, and the armature rheostat should be field rheostat should be kept in cut-out, and armature rheostat should be kept in cut-in. Okay. So once I bring back the rheostats to their original position, then switch off the supply. Don't use the lever to switch off the supply. Okay, simply switch off the supply from the terminals. Okay, supply terminals. So this is all about the speed control of DC shunt motor using flux control and armature control. Okay, so I hope this is a useful video in understanding the speed control. Okay, so we'll look into the other experiments in the similar way. Okay, I will not be explaining the circuit formation completely because you know all the terminals now. The similar terminals will be there everywhere. Okay, so I will do the connections and then I will be showing you directly the connected circuit, and then we will move to the conduction. Okay, so thank you.